basically people don't take this NMAT seriously and they just go and give it. So I'll suggest my juniors don't do that.
Now, if I were to talk about, the D-Day strategy, like NMAT gives us the flexibility to choose the order of these sections which we want to take, whether quants or verbal or LR. So what was your strategy and why did you choose to start with a particular section?
So I'll suggest that depends upon you. Give certain marks. What you're comfortable with, do that.
NMAT में अगर क्वांट्स का सेक्शनल कट ऑफ क्लियर करना है, since there is sectional cut off in each of them, what are the
Yes.
topics or type of questions in each section that one must do?
Uh,
Hi everyone, welcome on board. This is Anisha here in conversation with Omang, who's an NMAT 242 score getter. So congratulations on your score and welcome on board to the Cat Kings channel.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's lovely exchanging my thoughts with you.
Lovely. So tell me, what was your secret to get NMAT 242 score? Like how and when did you start preparing for NMAT along with CAT so that it helps all the other students who are listening to us and who are thinking, should I give NMAT with CAT or not? And where to start if I want to give the exam?
All right, ma'am. So basically, people don't take this NMAT seriously and they just go and give it. So I'll suggest my juniors don't do that. This is an equally important exam and it requires prep. You can't just one fine day get up and give an exam and expect that you'll crack it. So strategy from day one, I'd kept like, yes, CAT is the first aim, but I cannot neglect and I need to have a plan B. For that, SNAP and NMAT were only choices. There's no need to go beneath that, and obviously that also. So specifically for NMAT, there is a mock on their website. So firstly, like in July, August, I just randomly gave a mock with CAT mock to assess where I was standing and what is actually the pressure, because it's for quant questions, you'll get a lot of time, like 1 hour. Whereas for same amount of questions in VRC, you will get like 25 to 30 minutes. So speed as well as accuracy, both you have to match. So yes, so the strategy, certainly it overlaps with CAT, but there are certain topics like in quant, they delve a lot of questions from PNC and probability. And in LR, they ask typical questions from statement assumptions, point of action, what is the summary, para summary. So those questions can become tricky in the time environment. So you need to brush those concepts also. And English, I didn't find difficult at all. It was way less than CAT, definitely. But yes, again, speed was a challenge in that. So what I'll say is you can give 1 or 2 mocks before CAT, and after CAT, I think this year CAT was on 24, 25. So I didn't waste time even a 1 day after CAT. From next day, Monday only, I started to prep like what I have to do, because I had scheduled my NMAT on 14th of Feb. So I had 14th of December, sorry. So I had like 2 weeks. So I started my prep. I divided like this week I'll do I'll brush up the topics, and next week I will only revise and give certain mocks. So I gave 2 to 3 mocks, and I think you're good to go.
Okay, that's lovely. Great. Now, if I were to talk about, the D-Day strategy, like NMAT gives us the flexibility to choose the order of these sections which we want to take, whether quants or verbal or LR. So what was your strategy and why did you choose to start with a particular section?
The choice of sections was same as CAT, so we were preparing for that. So I kept the same, like first for English, then for LR, and then quant. Some people do the permutation and combinations, but I will suggest that if you have time, then only do these permutation combinations. Some people, like my friends, they want to give quant first because they are in maximum energy state.
Yeah.
So I'll suggest that depends upon you. Give certain marks. What you're comfortable with, do that.
Okay, lovely. That's really good. So that makes sense, to start comfort. But that logic that actually helps, क्योंकि CAT में भी आप पहले verbal फिर LR फिर quants करो तो mind थोड़ा सा trained हो जाता है. And that's something which I also recommend from the perspective you're most fresh and you read verbal RCs, तो speed read अच्छे से हो जाता है.
Yes.
But if we were to talk more about this in terms of what's the difference or which are the most important topics, like what do you think कि NMAT में अगर quants का sectional cutoff clear करना है, since there is sectional cutoff in each of them, what are the topics or type of questions in each section that one must do?
From quant, I will suggest that arithmetic is the base, and coupled with that, because PNC and probability, very less questions come in CAT,
Yeah.
and geometry is not asked at all in this exam. Like couple of my friends, one or two questions I've heard that in some shift they're asking, but geometry you don't need to focus, and you just need to focus on arithmetic and this modern maths topic. So what I suggest is accuracy here will be the key. Start solving LOD 2 and LOD 2.5 or 1 to 2.5 questions, and just keep a timer. What I used to do is I used to keep a timer in front of me, and I used to just pick 20 questions. So somehow I have to do 20 questions in 20 minutes. So first,
Yeah.
like I used to get like 10 correct. Then with passage of time, it increased to 15. So accuracy here will matter.
Got it.
Rather than CAT is something different, where conceptual clarity and analytical depth are checked. But here speed is the defining factor, as you asked.
Lovely. That's really interesting and very important. I think you should keep in mind. How about, like you said, for quants, arithmetic and PNC probability is important. What about the LR section? Like, how can I maximize my scores in LR?
Yes, for LR, you will not get those questions where you have long statements and you have to solve the case. Here, the LR is completely different. So you have to focus on statement assumption type of questions, course of action type of questions, para summary. So these are analytical in nature. And trust me that they will only come with practice. Otherwise, you will get wrong answers. Initially, I used to think that all these questions of mine are correct. But when I used to match with answer key, I was like, I mean, what is this? Like, this doesn't even make sense. So they have their own style of answering. So you should start that like when you are free, like 24 hours. One cannot prepare for CAT. Like when you are taking breaks, you can just pick these questions. They will improve your analytical depth. And online or on CAT King, there are many sources to prepare from. You are flooded with materials. So don't focus on that. Just pick something and try to analyze like how they are thinking, because we are coming from a different mindset, and how the examiner is thinking, that is something that we have to pick. So give the mocks on their website and analyze the LR questions, like how they are providing the answers. So that
Got it.
thinking we have to match, and it will take time, but it will come.
But it's something which, your presence of mind and analytical thinking you have to build rather than ratta maroing things, right?
Yes, it's definitely.
Lovely. That's great. And coming to the last, that's our verbal section, where you have the maximum time crunch. So do you
Yes.
have like, some thumb rule कि इतनी देर में क्वेश्चन खत्म करना है, कैसे आंसर करना है, कितने क्वेश्चंस करने हैं करेक्ट फॉर वर्बल सेक्शन?
Yes, so here we can distinguish between two, those who are comfortable with grammar and those who are not. So I was little comfortable with like kaun sa article you have to put and all those preposition kaun sa aayega. So I used to quickly do that. So if you're not comfortable with grammar, then please brush those concepts. Having said that, there were like 3 passages and they were very long, and because we cannot go back and front in this exam, so we don't know when will passage pop up.
Yeah.
So it's like one passage and there's some questions, then again passage. So again, time is certainly a very important factor here, but the last passage, to be honest, I also marked like just random questions because there was no time left, and you cannot afford to leave any question in NMAT because it really gives a lot of negative marks and
Correct.
penalty is very high. So try to enhance and read fast, skim through the passages, and like 1 or 2 questions in the last passage I also like marked like CC because I didn't have time to go through the questions, and like questions were also from CAT level point of view. Like they were not like simple reading comprehension questions, they were twisted like how CAT VRC comes. So but I think passage was not tough, that I can say. Passage was easy, questions were a little bit twisted, but yes, again,
Interesting.
time is something that's very important here too.
Lovely. Any parting thoughts for all the students who are planning to write NMAT exam, that what should you keep in mind to make sure you perform on the day of exam?
Yes, just keep cool and keep your presence of mind intact, because ultimately what happens, everybody will prepare to the best, but only certain people will win, and the differentiating factor, what I think from my experience, is mindset on the D day is very important. That you need to have confidence. When I was climbing the stairs of my exam center, I was like, yes, I have done my best. Now it's just like another mock. I have to sit and I will definitely get selected. So I was constantly running these thoughts in my mind. And yes, with a positive mindset, one or two questions जो नहीं भी ठीक होने होते हैं, they also like luck just smiles on you. So mindset is something that's very important.
Awesome, that's really nice. Thank you so much for joining in, Umang. And if we need more help and assistance for all the upcoming juniors, we'll be taking sessions on NMAT strategy. Would love you to come and help them get the best of scores.
Definitely. It was lovely talking to you, Ma.
Thank you so much and all the best. Let's make sure you make the most of the 2 years at NMIMS Mumbai, and I would say welcome to the Cat King NMIMS family, and now you're going to be my junior as well. So, all the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sejal Sharma.
Sauradeep Chaudhary. मेरा CAT percentile 99.20 था.
Watching your videos and I kept watching them, and the motivation and your energy was just too high that it gave me the motivation that I can do it.
I'm very grateful to you because आपके मैं सारे lectures बैठा हूँ.
CAT King का जो इंटरफेस है वो बहुत ही अच्छा है, एकदम CAT की तरफ.
Whenever I used to feel लो आपका motivation देख लेती थी.
पापा मेरे से बड़े फैन हैं. क्यों भाई? क्योंकि जब मैं स्पीकर पे पढ़ता था या आपके वीडियो देखता था तो बोलते हैं यार ये बंदा ना पढ़ाते हो सब मोटिवेट करता है तुम्हें, वो हवा भरती रहनी चाहिए हमेशा गाड़ी में.
Thank you so much, sir. And I would again like to thank all of you as the Cat King family. It's been a great experience.
Hit the bell icon.